is the two captains, and Ricardo Duarte is going to end up on the winning side, securing the first possession of this classification from the 5th to the 8th place match. Of course, the team that wins plays for the 5th, the team that loses plays for the 7th, but I'm pretty sure you are all very much familiar with it and with the overall format. There's the first attempt, there is the first shot from Felipe Cesar, but no early changes to the scoreline, not even 30 seconds since the first swim-off. Let's see, will the Whitecaps find a way to the first goal of this match? Overall, it's Sheriff who gets the ball to Hassan. Hassan back to Sheriff. Sheriff opts for the left back position. It's only 3 seconds till the end of the attack. And the Blue Caps' goalie, Vinicius Meira, one of the players that, well, goalkeepers that actually got the Player of the Match award in the previous few days, and if I'm not mistaken, it was 2 days ago, if I remember, and this was worthy of an exclusion, the first one for Freitas. So Whitecaps have the first power play. So let's talk about formation for a bit. Well, it should be 4-2 now that, well, make that 3-3, but keep an eye out on the left back. In his positioning, 3 more seconds is going to be Yassin Mohamed with the attempt, but still no goal. So 0 out of 1 when it comes to the extra player opportunities, with, like I said before, Freitas as the first player that had to go out the field of play. Onto the left side to Cesar, one of the players of the Whitecaps. Keeping an eye out, well, an extra eye out on the Blue Caps as a center, being the Paloni, as you saw, good defending there, steal of the ball courtesy of Omar Ahmed, who is still swimming with the ball in the counter, opts to pass the ball to the captain Islam, but not the easiest pass, not the best pass that is, and Meira stole the ball back in favor and in possession of the Blue Caps. Wolfhorst spots the player open on the right and sends the ball directly to the right wing, and Ricardo Duarte sends the ball into the back of the net for the first time. The team captain with goal number 13 of the tournament, one of the top scorers with Malardo. Both of them now on 13 goals each, so definitely 2 players that the Whitecaps need to keep an extra eye on when it comes to their goal scoring prowess, especially from the 6-meter line, from the outfield line, that is. On to the possible answer of the Whitecaps, Hassan, line that is. On to the possible answer of the Whitecaps, Hassan. Sheriff. Now all the way to the left side of the attack with 2 players on the 2-meter line, and Meira with another save. Let's see, well, a possible counter-attack develop, because I see 4 players in the Blue Caps, 3 on the 2-meter line now in the white, and there's the first save for Abdallah. 4 players in the Blue Caps, 3 on the 2-meter line now in the white, and there's the first save for Abdallah Ahmed Said. After his reaction, 18 more seconds for the attack when it comes to Alexandre Dezani. After his reaction, 18 more seconds for the attack when it comes to Alexandre Dezani's team. Cesar. Mardo back to Cesar. 2-0 for the Blue Caps. And goal number 6. 4 field goals, 2 penalty goals. That will be the breakdown of his goals scored throughout the past few days here in Zagreb, in capital of Croatia. And confirmation of that number 6 as well. Almost halfway there when it comes to the first period, when it comes to the first quarter. Yassin Mohamed gets the ball back from the left back. The swing through from the right one. Opening up a bit more of a space, but a bit of a crowd there on the 2-meter line. And what a backhanded goal now from Hissam Hassan. A great goal, definitely one that could make the highlight reel. Overall, when it comes to the match day 6, which cuts the difference back to 1 goal. And then the question we always have, for how long is it going to stay that way? It's Celestino on the left wing, now it's Imbroisi. Still in the question we always have, for how long is it going to stay that way? It's Celestino on the left wing, now it's Imbroisi. Still Imbroisi with 2 blocks in front of himself, but he opts for the diagonal shot and does not miss. João Luis Imbroisi, next name and surname we're adding to the score sheet. And the Blue Caps have the +2 advantage back in their favor. We're adding to the score sheet. And the Blue Caps have the +2 advantage back in their favor. Mustafa. Rahman fighting for his position on the 2-meter line, but as you see there, 2 of the players of the Blue Caps dropping a bit lower, preventing the ball from reaching him. A good swim through to kind of break off that kind of defense, to maybe move the players a little bit, but it did not work at first. Additional 18 seconds are now being slowly but surely 8. Make that 5 now. Mohamed dispossessed, everything by the book, to use that term. Referee's whistle confirming its possession for the Blue Caps. Freitas gets the ball to Malardo. Malardo has Imbroisi on the left. Is there a ball going in the way of the center forward? Well, not just yet. And Mustafa spotted that could be an option, so he went back. Another save for Abdallah Ahmed Said. Save number 2 for him. Now the same amount of saves that Vinicius Meira has on the other side. Exclusion in the transition and the swim towards the defensive portion of the task. And number 4, meaning João Luis Imbroisi, is out. So second power play opportunity for the Whitecaps. Yassin Mohamed, Omar Mohamed, all the way to the lefty on the right wing being Hassan. 2 seconds, still the end of the attack, and a nice, powerful, most importantly, precise shot from Omar Mohamed Hatem. Great diagonal that gets us back into 1 goal of a difference between these 2 teams, and as you saw, when it comes to his goal scoring, there's the number of his goals throughout the past few match days. As I am mentioning goals, 17 in total for Omar Ahmed Mokhtar. The player with the cap number 8 is the one that has the status of the top scorer when it comes to Whitecaps, if you will. No whistle from the referee. Again, that's the top scorer when it comes to Whitecaps, if you will. No whistle from the referee. Again, that's a portion of the job done right, without any additional repercussion, that is. Mohamed gets the ball back from Hassan. 6 seconds till the end of this attack. And an exclusion then given. Attack that did not go unspotted by the referee. So number 8, meaning Omar Ahmed, is out. First extra player opportunity for the Blue Caps. Volhorst now in possession of the ball. Cesar sends it in. Second goal for Felipe Cesar. 4-2 for the Blue Caps. Goal number 7 of the tournament overall. And with now less than 6 seconds till the end of not only this attack, but also the first period, it is going to stay that way it's going to stay with 4-2 in favor of the Blue Caps, with Meira having the last say, the last opportunity, and another save added to Abdullah Ahmed. So White Caps 2, Blue Caps 4. That's the story of the first 6 minutes here when it comes to our first classification match from the 5th to the 8th place. There's the overall statistics when it comes to the first 6 minutes, so a little rundown on that. Only 25% of the shot efficiency when it comes to the White Caps, 50 on the other side for the Blue Caps. And as far as extra player shots go, 100% from their only opportunity when it comes to Blue Caps, 1 out of 2 when it comes to White Caps. Only one 6-meter shot converted into a goal courtesy of the Blue Caps, something that is kind of a, well, we can see trace. I mean, if you follow them in the past few days, you'd have seen a lot of those. So far, they couldn't really connect with their center forwards. But like I said, plenty of quality on the outfield line to use their attacks in the best way possible, even without the help of the center. And like I said, that's the story of the first quarter. We'll see will anything change in the second, and in what way, and there's plenty of time still to be played. When it comes to their matches yesterday, in those quarterfinals, 15-3, that was the defeat of the White Caps in, if I remember correctly, the third quarterfinal of the day. And as for the Blue Caps, they played the second quarterfinal and lost with the result of 11-7. And that sent them exactly here to the first match of this afternoon. Brace as the top scorer after the first 6 minutes, and on we go. But we need to see which player from the Blue Caps is going to go for the ball, because Islam, the team captain of the White Caps, is already all set for the duty. And on the other side, it should be Cesar, the firstly mentioned player, our top scorer so far. And it's going to be the White Caps that have the first possession of the second quarter of the second period. Hassan, Mustafa, Yassin Mohammed. Now the ball towards the center, who draws an exclusion. Duarte, the team captain, is out. Yassin Mohammed, Hassan, Mohammed, Yassin Mohammed. To Omar Mohammed, to the right winger now. Hassan opening the angle, but hit the woodwork. Mallard. Wolfhorst. Wolfhorst now tries to find the center forward. The defending from Yassin Mohammed with the cap number 2. Another situation that did not go unnoticed, as Nicoletti committed a foul worthy of an exclusion right in front of the referee. So power play again awarded to the White Caps. Not a single player with 2 personal fouls to their name. You will be updated if that happens. Now it's Abdullah Rahman. And a shot from the left back position goes in, thanks to Harun Mustafa's shot that now cuts it back to 1. Goal number 13 of the tournament. The second top scorer of the White Caps. Malardo. Cesar. Chance now to pass the ball to the center. Might be too early. Cesar. Again, well spotted by Mustafa, who dropped deeper and is now cutting that option. When it comes to possible ball finding the center. A turnover fall given there. So let's see what the Whitecaps have to offer in the following attack, in the following 20 seconds. Can they equalize the score for the very first time? Mustafa. Omar Mohamed. Less than 10 seconds now to figure out a solution. And there it is. Talking about solutions. What a solution from Harun Mustafa yet again. Player that single-handedly managed to level the score with his 2 goals in a row. So after those 2-4 at the end of the first quarter, 2 in a row, after 2 minutes of play in the second period, go in favor of the Whitecaps, who, like I said, leveled the score for the very first time. Imbroisi. Quirino. No call on the lefty. Quirino opts to pass the ball to the nearest option, again being Imbroisi. Malardo drops it to his center, and he is dispossessed. Thanks to a team effort there of additional 2 players alongside the center back, Mohamed. Now an exclusion for Quirino, drawn by the captain Islam. Mustafa. Islam gets the ball to Essam. Islam, a 4-2 formation, and the captain scores to overturn the deficit in total. Extra player goal that now brings the Whitecaps in the minimum advantage for the very first time, and timeout called by the Blue Caps, as it is 3 goals, 3 consecutive goals that have been unanswered by the Blue Caps. So of course, a bit of an alarm there for Alejandro Desani. So it's better to regroup his team and take a timeout, give them additional instructions before things go south even more. Duarte. Imbroisi finds his center. Well, that was the initial option. Try and pass the ball to Mendes, who couldn't really do much with the ball after yet again a good defensive display from the Whitecaps, who now have a counter. Good defensive display from the Whitecaps, who now have a counter. Have Omar Mohamed in the counter, who drops the ball. We need for the referee to whistle, so possession back for the Blue Caps. 2:40-ish seconds. Yes, 2:38 to be precise. Before the end of the second quarter, before the halftime. Wolfhorst. Yes, 2:38 to be precise. Before the end of the second quarter, before the halftime. Wolfhorst. Not the best pass to Duarte, but the captain still keeps it for the Blue Caps. Duarte with a possible shot right after the fall. No, the ball to the left. Wolfhorst to the right winger. It's only a second left, and that's enough to take the shot, but not to make it +2. Mustafa on to the left wing, back to Mustafa. Omar Mohamed leaves the right wing position to Hassan. Omar Mohamed has 5 seconds to figure out a solution. Omar Mohamed tries to get a foul there, but no can do. Mohamed has 5 seconds to figure out a solution. Omar Mohamed tries to get a foul. A great link-up play by the two players, being the captain Duarte, who served the returning pass to Vulfors, and him who sends it in the near corner of the goal for his 5th goal of the tournament, but more importantly for the Blue Caps to equalize the score to score overall for the very first time after that 3-in-a-row series, or should I say 3 goals that went unanswered in total until this goal that happened 1 minute and 37 seconds till the end of the second period. So we're adding the counter-attack goal to the list and counting down the final bits of our first half. Mustafa, Tariq, Sherif, Mohamed to Tariq. 2 options on the 2-meter line. Save Mohamed to Tariq. 2 options on the 2-meter line. Save by Meira. Now gives 18 more seconds to the Whitecaps to build a pathway towards goal number 6. 17 more seconds to the Whitecaps to build a pathway towards goal number 6. That would get them back into the minimum advantage. Let's see, will that be the scenario we're witnessing here? Nice swing through from Tariq. There's the ball to him. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Now it's Sherif. Sherif gets a bit closer to the attacking zone. Mustafa, Sherif. 3 seconds till the end. Another save for Vinicius Meira, who now has 4. As well as his opponent on the other side between the posts. Ahmed also with 4 shots saved out of 9 faced. Malardo. Exclusion for number 11. Yep, number 11, meaning it's Abdullah Rahman. First personal foul for him. A great reaction from Mustafa, who firstly steals the pass. Well, steals the ball, but it's back in favor of the Blue Caps, who will not score. We'll get another opportunity to do just that. So the final 20-ish seconds of not only the second period, but also the first half, if everything goes according to the Whitecaps' plan, goes in their favor, their possible build-up, and it might even be with, well, red card. And we're going to confirm that it's number 6 Blue Duarte and number 5 White. So both captains out. The head coaches, of course, having something to say after this decision, but both of the teams will have to do with 12 more minutes of the match without their captains. But the player with the cap number 11 was stated there, and if I'm not mistaken, it should be number 5 because it appeared on the big board as well. So, yep, there we go. So we're heading into the break with a possible minimum advantage in favor of the Whitecaps thanks to this great goal by Yassin Tarek Fatmi. 4th goal of the tournament. 6-meter shot goal that might be the last one we see in the first half. What can be done in now less than 2 seconds. A good block from Mustafa. Keeps it going in the way of Abdallah Ahmed Said. So Whitecaps 6, Blue Caps 5 is the result after 12 minutes of the match played. 12 more to come. 12 more minutes of the second half. The result, we're entering the second portion of our first classification match is White Caps 5, Blue Caps 5. Now, in case you missed, as we're waiting for the third swim-off, the first one of the second half, if you will, just a rundown on the match summary when it comes to the halftime statistics. A bit better of a shot efficiency for the White Caps. That is now 40, 45 on the other side for the Blue Caps. 3 out of 5 the halftime statistics. A bit better of a shot efficiency for the White Caps. That is now 40, 45 on the other side for the Blue Caps. 3 out of 5 or 1 out of 2 when it comes to the extra player goals. 7 versus 8. That was the swim off there, meaning it was Malardo versus Omar Ahmed. And the Blue Caps have the first possession of the third quarter. Now, in case you missed, both of the team captains got the exclusion with substitution at the end of the second period. First attempt, wrong count. No precision in the shot from Felipe Cesar, actually our top scorer when it comes to the minutes that have passed that we witness here follow together, and the same amount of goals in the end for Mustafa at the end of the second quarter. We added his 2 goals to the list as well, so 2 that share the same number. Nothing else to report as for the possible third exclusion. Every other player that has been out of the field of play did it only once. On we go then. A turnover fall given immediately. A counter attack opportunity. Now let's see. Will be put to the best use possible, and a penalty or a goal. A goal it is. The goal it is, as the referee is waiting for the player to put his cap back on so he can figure out which number to show. And it's going to be number 3, meaning Harun Mustafa has 3 goals, so a hat-trick of goals for him. That was the quick to surpass your opponent in the race for the top scorer status, huh? So 4:55, plenty of time not only in this penultimate quarter but also in the final one as well to change the result, to change the narrative. And as for changing the narrative number 2, meaning it's Yassin Mohammed is the next player who is out for the very first time. Power play for the Blue Caps. So let's see, will they use it? Back to Malardo, a great shot from the right side. The lefty Gabriel Quirino has it back to 1. One out of 3 lefties actually when it comes to the Blue Caps. Quirino is left-handed, Mendes is left-handed, the captain Duarte is also left-handed, but as I said before, it's him and on the other side Islam, 2 players, 2 team captains. They got the exclusion with substitution, so that was all from them when it comes to this classification match. Yassin Mohammed gets the ball back, and the player on the right swimming through, trying to break down this defensive display of the Blue Caps. And number 7, Hisham Hassan Nashat finds the way to the goal number 8 of the White Caps. Goal number 9 of the tournament overall. Actually, the youngest player in this team when it comes to the White Caps, of course, the only one born in 2011. Malardo, Imbroinzi, good ball to the center, who held the ball in his hand, so no whistle from the referee, and that's exactly what Anol Mane is showing here. Good ball to the center, who held the ball in his hand, so no whistle from the referee, and that's exactly what Anol Mane is showing here to the firstly mentioned Blue Cap, Ahmed. On the right, extra player attack, and then immediate timeout called by Mohamed Kamal. So second personal foul for Raul Luis Freitas. Player has to be extra careful in the following minutes. And we'll see now what is the idea for Mohamed Gamal's team with his power play awarded in their favor. That might take them to +3 for the very first time when it comes to this match. +1, +2 mainly, so take them to +3 for the very first time when it comes to this match. +1, +2 mainly, so no bigger, no difference other than that. As of now, that is. So a 4-2 formation with the wing players being pushed almost to the outline. Mohamed, we're gonna keep the current situation when it comes to the extra player shots used from the previous statistics. Malardo finds Imbroisi with a pass. Imbroisi, but now half of the time designated for this attack, still left. It's Nicoletti. Nicoletti saved by the Whitecaps' goalie, which now makes it, say, number 5 for him. For Ahmed, now it's Yassin Mohamed. Sherif. Mohamed. Sherif with 2 seconds till the end sends it wide. Another exclusion, this one for the player with the cap number 7, meaning it's Hassan. Extra player attack for the Blue Caps. Malardo. Wolfhorst. Imbroisi finds the left winger and he finds the way to goal number 7. A powerful diagonal shot from Felipe Cesar, who is now with a hat-trick of goals himself as well. Mohamed. Yassin Mohamed is at the right wing position now, back with Mohamed. Yassin Mohamed gets to the right back, onto the right wing. Sherif Silvamera. Save number 6, followed by Quirino in the meantime, as we're going to see this Sherif's shot one more time from the replay. 18 more seconds, and immediately ball stolen by Malardo. Made under pressure, but the referee said that was enough for a fall. Malardo at the left side of the attack with the ball. With 2 opponents right next to him. There's an additional one swimming to the left post, and the ball finds the left winger. Only 2 seconds will make that beaten by the shot clock scenario, as Fatal wasn't really aware that that was the exact time left on the shot clock. Sherif. Yes, Mohamed. Back to Sherif. Mohamed. Yassin Mohamed. Yassin Mohamed, and it was blocked by Nicoletti. Possible counter-attack as Malardo is the quickest one. Malardo goes for an exclusion. Well, a penalty shot given there on Yassin Mohammed. Or, no, number 10 is what the referee is saying there. So it's going to be Omar Mohammed. We're going to erase that and correct with the right player. So a chance to equalize the score. This penalty. And the duty is on Gabriel Quirino. Is it going to be him? Is it going to be Abdallah Ahmed? It's going to be Quirino. 8-8. White Caps 8, Blue Caps 8. For the first time we have score all levels since Bullhorst was the one that scored for 5-5. Then Blue Caps were in a position. They were the ones catching up to their opponents for the first time. Now, if they, of course, don't get another chance to quickly regain the minimum advantage. And there's the first portion of the job done thanks to Meira. Around 20 more seconds of the penultimate quarter. Quirino. Still Quirino. Nicoletti with a swim through to the right post. The ball finds the left back, who has 7 seconds. He opts for a fall. No fall given by the referee. And there's the final opportunity for the White Caps. There's the final shot taken by Vinicius Meira. And that's pretty much it, even though Alejandro Desani is pissed off by that decision that there was no fall on Bullhorst. So, White Caps 8, Blue Caps 8 is the result we're entering this final portion of the match with, this final 6 minutes. And 40%, or should I say, from 40 to 33, that would be the correct image for me. You guys see the right one, so don't mind me and my math. So 33% of shot efficiency for White Caps, 47 on the other side for the Blue Caps, 3 out of 6 or 3 out of 5 when it comes to the extra player shots. Only 2 action shots taken, no center shots for the White Caps, only 1 for the Blue Caps, but it was not a goal in the end. And as for the 6-meter shots, that's an interesting number if you didn't catch that in the previous third quarter statistics. It's 2 out of 12 for the White Caps, 1 out of 4 for the Blue. Pass break shots, 1 out of 1, and the penalty taken by the Blue Caps, courtesy of Quirino a few minutes ago, and that's pretty much it. Enjoy the highlights, and then in around 40 seconds, everything will be set for the final swim-off. Final 6 minutes. Manardo on one side and Omar Ahmed on the other, with Freitas as the only player who has to be extra careful not to get the third and final exclusion. And that stops it when it comes to all the info you need to know prior to the final 6 minutes, with the first possession of the final quarter secured by the White Caps. So 2-2 when it comes to sprints 1. Khalid. Tariq. 5 more seconds on the shot clock. Shiri finds the right winger. And step shot won't go the way the White Caps were hoping for their first opportunity. First 30 seconds down, 5.5 more minutes still to go. onto the left wing. Immediate shot that hit the left post. And a turnover fall given by the referee. So there it is. Another opportunity for the Blue Caps, as there was contact on Cesar. In question, the reason for that decision. Quirino on Cesar. In question, the reason for that decision. Quirino. Wolfhorst. Quirino. No center now for the Blue Caps, and it's in! Matthias Wolfhorst sends it in for the first time in this match. No, for the second, sorry. We're not gonna forget that goal for 5-5. Now the one that gets the Blue Caps back into the minimum advantage. Till the end. Plenty of time to turn your luck around for the White Caps, but let's see, will they do just that? Starting off with this attack. Khalid has Mustafa on the left, opts for the right side. Both of the players now from the right in a swing through. And the idea that was there is to pass it to Mustafa, who might get an exclusion, or draw an exclusion, that is, but it didn't work. Blue Caps with the possession now. Wolfhorst has Quirino, opts for the left winger, who passes the ball to the center, and Celestino wasn't really ready for the pass. Wasn't really in the best position there, but the player who is in the best position to have a good view of the play of the game was Vinicius Meira there. Good reaction from him, prevented any kind of a danger happening from the counter, and there's another danger, Rofi, of a penalty. Yep. Omar Ahmed with his second personal foul now, so he has to be careful, and thanks to Malardo, there's another penalty shot opportunity, and is it going to be Quirino? That will try to be Mr. 100% when it comes to penalty shots, but there's only one way to find out, so let's see. Romaniak going for the ball, and Quirino taking his time, as he has the right to do so. Everything should be ready now. On we go. Quirino versus Ahmed, take two, Quirino! 10-8. Hat-trick of goals for not only Quirino but also Cesar, and on the other side Mustafa is the player that matched that tally when it comes to the White Caps. +2 for the very first time since it was, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure I'm not, it was that 4-2 at the end of the first quarter. No chance to surprise Vinicius Meira, who has 9 saves to his name. Additional 18 seconds for the White Caps, starting off with Mustafa. Omar Ahmed as his closest option, but he is in a mission to swim through to the left side, to the left post and then to the left side. Good ball to the center or not? Well, it would be if it weren't for Celestino, who was dropped a bit back. Easy steal for the Blue Caps, who now get a chance to make it +3 with 3:45 till the end of the match overall. Wolfhorst passes the ball to Cesar, back to Wolfhorst. A swim through for an additional option on the 2-meter line, and for no reaction from the referee. No contact worthy of that, according to them, so on we go. Mustafa serves the ball to his teammate on the left, and that was a clean steal. Ball safe in possession of Vinicius Meira in the meantime. Halfway there when it comes to the last quarter. with 2 goals of an advantage for the Blue Caps. And how is Wolfhorst all alone there? That is the real question, but luckily for the White Caps, he did not send it in. The Woodward with his lob shot. Anybody swimming in the counter? Not really, but there is an opportunity to try one-on-one from the right wing, or out for the shot himself. It was Mustafa's attempt, and after he hit the woodwork as well, the player on the left, being Omar Ahmed, is the one who draws an exclusion. Number 4 is out, so it's Imruiz's second. Him and Freitas with 2 personal fouls to their name. Khalid. And there's the goal for the White Caps, number 4. Khalid. And there's the goal for the White Caps, number 4. 2:21 till the end. An extremely important goal for the White Caps, for Murad Khalid. Well, Mustafa is out. He got his replacement in the pool. And on we go with the final bits. Yasin Mohammed as the player, with Cesar there, who was opting to swim through to be the center, but the ball was stolen in the meantime. A counter-attack goal possibility that will indeed take this game more into the unknown waters, because we're not a step closer to finding out who is the team that will battle for the 5th place, because as you saw, a goal or maybe 2 has the biggest advantage for either of the teams, especially now if the White Caps score, but they won't, thanks to Meira. Second opportunity or not? Well, not in the end. Thanks to Freitas. Cesar finds Malardo. The ball was then sent to the left winger to Celestino. The referee says it touched the hand of Ahmed, which means, of course, 18 more seconds. White Caps' bench pissed at that decision. On to 120 till the end. Wolfhorst. Quirino. Swing through from Cesar on the right post. Now an additional player on the left who calls for the ball, but no reaction from the referees in the end, because there wasn't, truth to be told, much to react to either way. And after securing the possession, timeout in favor of the White Caps. Exclusion for Freitas, and it's his 3rd and final exclusion, so no more game time for him. We're in the last minute of the match. A chance for the White Caps to equalize with the power play. Mustafa sends the ball to the left. A great save for Meira, and might be the most important one throughout the match. Let's see, will the Blue Caps build upon it? Starting off with Wolfhorst. Wolfhorst has Celestino on the right, additional player on the left. He opts for the right side. Malardo as the player on the left. 10 more seconds till the end of this attack. The ball goes back to Wolfhorst. 6 more seconds. Celestino waits for the pass, and the penalty shot was given. So this might if, of course, the Blue Caps score, if Quirino is going to be the one called to duty or Cesar. Let's see. It might be it. It might be the end of the story if this goal happens, if it goes to 11-9, because it's only 19.4 seconds till the end. Now let's see. Cesar scores. Goal number 4 for Felipe Cesar. Whitecaps 9, Bluecaps 11. And at the very beginning of this second half, the story was completely different, but they overturned the deficit. They got back into the advantage, kept it all the way till the very last whistle, and we're gonna add save number 12 for Vinicius Meira, also one of the players who was absolutely paramount when it comes to securing this exact result, and a comeback that is as well, when you look at the play-by-play and the story of the second half. So Whitecaps 9, Bluecaps 11 as our final result. So the Bluecaps are the ones that will go head-to-head tomorrow in the fight for the 5th place. And of course, the next match will determine which team is going to be their opponent, and the team that loses the next match in this classification from the 5th to the 8th place story will play against Whitecaps. The final statistics, the final bits and bobs, the final highlights, and the player of the match is well, the goalkeeper himself with 12 saves to his name. Vinicius Meira is our player of the match, so that's all when it comes to the first match. 3 more to come, another one when it comes to the classification from the 5th to the 8th place, like I said, and then cherry on top to semifinals. Welcome back to Zagreb. Welcome back to Mladost Pool Complex, the indoor pool that is, for yet another classification from the 5th to the 8th grades match. It's match number 106, which means now we get to find out the second portion of the answer when it comes to the final two matches tomorrow for teams that played quarterfinals yesterday. Like I said, half of the answer, and then we're going to be halfway there when it comes to the program of this indoor pool ultimate match day here in the capital of Croatia. Now, as for the team lineups, let's start with the Whitecaps, shall we? So it's Cateni, Javikoli, Galli, Gori di Capo Testa, Massetti, Polo, Meli, Guidrino, Zagreb, Varela, Cocktail. So Coutinho is in, Felipe is out. If you compare this lineup to the one that played the quarterfinals yesterday, the first quarterfinal, that is. When it comes to the Blue Caps, it's Kosarev, Kizim, Baranec, Jevo, Vitikap, Kopsev, Kikin, Simionov, Sukhanlin, Kabibulin, Krylov, Akimov, Levin, Stepinov, Akakov, which means that Kabibulin is in, Rodchenkov is out when it comes to the team news, and Federico Mistrangelo, of course, as the head coach of the Whitecaps, Alexei Akakov as the head coach of the Blue Caps. Now, the referees are Bogdan Beljev and Hall. The TWPC delegate is Mario Borgoljan, and that's all you need to know when it comes to the news, the introduction, and one time that's still left to the final countdown being done is around 30 more seconds. That is the first round of this second classification to the 8th place match. The Whitecaps played in that first quarterfinal, lost after a penalty shootout with 17-14. And as for the Blue Caps, well, they played in that last quarterfinal yesterday. It was 10-8. The final result, so those two losses brought these two teams together right here and right this time. And the winner plays tomorrow for the 5th place. The team that loses this match is going to play for the 7th place. But as I said in the first match, already all a little bit when it comes to the format. Now let's see who's going to take the first possession. It's going to be the Blue Caps thanks to their captain, Koptin. Kizim, followed by Cocozello. Waiting for the ball. No pass to him just yet. Got it. The right wing position. It's 8 seconds on the shot clock. All the way to Baranec on the left side. Baranec, this shot over the goal. Kosarev and Skateni as the starting goalkeepers. And you're seeing the Whitecaps starting the goalie in the previous frame. On to the Whitecaps and their first attack. Galli cannot really get the possession. Galli did a turnover call there, so Blue Caps now get a chance to possibly convert from a counter, depending on how the situation and defense is going to look like for the next few seconds. Everything covered, and this was going to be an exclusion, so number 4, Pogori is out. First power play for the Blue Caps. Geo. 10 seconds on the shot clock. One winger to another, to Kopsev, and stay at 0-0. First opportunity with the extra player in the pool, and this is how it ended up. He's missed it for the first time. First save for Andrea Scateni. Cocozello. Putrino! 4 goals yesterday in that first quarterfinals match, and now it should be goal number 16 overall when it comes to this tournament for him. Nil for the Whitecaps. And yet again, numero 9 finds the back of the opponent's net. That is outfield line. How many of these goals have we seen just like this in these past few days here in the capital of Croatia? onto the Blue Caps' possible answer in the following attack. Kopce waiting for the pass on the left, has Levin right there by his side. There's the pass to Levin. Levin and then Kopce yet again. So Hamlin waiting for the pass on the 2-meter line. Whitecaps' defense keeping him well covered. No precision in that goal, well, in that shot, sorry, from the captain of the Blue Caps. So Whitecaps have a chance to double their advantage in the next 20 seconds. Meli, swing through from Coccozzello, has an additional option there with Massetti. Ball is going to find the left winger. Trino back to Rumolo, and the referee spots contact worthy of an exclusion, so Agarkov is out. Testa finds Coccozzello from one winger to another, now to Rumolo. Rumolo saved by Kosarev. Kosarev that acts Coccozzello from one winger to another, now to Rumolo. Rumolo saved by Kosarev. Kosarev that actually had 9 saves yesterday in that last quarterfinals match. One of the key players for the Blue Caps, but in the end it was not enough for them to secure their place among the top 4 teams of this under-16 water polo championships. On to 9 more seconds for the Blue Caps to produce an answer, and this might be even worthy of an exclusion. So number 15 is out, meaning Coccozzello. Second power play opportunity for the Blue Caps, and Krylov sends the ball to the right, but 2 meters was the decision there from the referee. So no can do when it comes to the extra player shot conversion. As for now, Rumolo. Ball sent to Gori, but in the meantime, it was Massetti who did enough for a turnover fall. Krylov finds Kopcev on the left. Kopcev waits for the rest of his teammates to join in the attacking phase. Still Kopcev. Massetti went back to help out Meli as the center back. Now it's Krylov. And now the ball is safe in the possession of Andrea Scateni. 2:30, well, less than that, until the end of the first period. Gori swimming in the counter. Gori with a goal or a penalty shot, and none of those. .210 now till the end of the first period. Still waiting for the first answer of the Blue Caps. Kopcev finds Krylov. Krylov sends the ball to his center, which was a good call as Hamlin now draws an exclusion. Number 7 is Rumolo. So it's his first exclusion, which means third power play opportunity for the Blue Caps. Krylov. Kikin. Levin. Again, 2 meters called by the referee, so possession now back to Whitecaps. Meli has a Testa as the closest option to pass the ball to, and it's going to be Testa. Massetti getting the position, but well spotted by Kosarev, who went from his goal to cut that option off. That possible connection, that is. Potrino to the right winger. Massetti's shot saved by Kosarev, which means it's now his 3rd save of the match. 1/3 of what he had yesterday. Just to put things into perspective. Gevo. A turnover fall given. Nothing goes unnoticed by the referees. So now a chance for Massetti, and now it's a penalty. Number 10, meaning it's Fedor Krylov who gets that personal foul. And thanks to Massetti, we'll see, is it going to be him? Is it going to be Potrino who will go on the hunt for a goal that would double the current advantage for the Whitecaps? It's going to be Massetti. Massetti scores 2-0. Entirely new lineup for the Blue Caps. That's the decision of Alexia Garkova after this second goal from the White Caps. "65 more seconds in the first period. 65 more seconds of a chance there for the Blue Caps to try and produce their first goal of the match. Kizim goes for a swim through to the right post, and then most likely exiting into the right wing, opening the right side of the attack. A good ball to Signolo, but and then most likely exiting into the right wing, opening the right side of the attack. A good ball to Signolo, but drowned below the surface, so a turnover fall now gives a chance for another goal from the counter, and it won't be a goal from the counter. It hit the left post, so we're staying at this 2-0 situation, and the player that broke free in the counter was Putrino. Akimov. Another ball towards the center, who opts for a backhanded shot, but again, Scateni has recovered. 100% of saves when it comes to Andrea Scateni. Even Kosarev at 3 out of 5. As we're closing off chapter number 1 with the final 3 seconds and a final block for the Blue Caps. White Caps 2, Blue Caps 0. That's the story of the first 8 minutes. And now let's take a look at the match statistics, just to get a better, more detailed picture of what we witnessed here in the first 6 minutes of the match. The only scorers, Massetti and Putrino. And the Blue Caps still waiting for their first ball into the back of opponent's nets. "15 more seconds and we're off to period number 2, to quarter number 2 when it comes to this classification from the 5th to the 8th place match. 2-0 in favor of the White Caps is the result we're heading into the next 6 minutes with prior to the halftime. Let's see who wins the first possession of this quarter, and it's gonna be the Blue Caps thanks to their captain Koptev. Agarko as the starting center back here for the Blue Caps, team that won sprint for the second time. Koptev has Krylov on the left, opts for Agarko. Now it's Jevo. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Foul on Jevo. Koptev for a slight second there, open for the pass, but until ball finds him, it would have took quite a lot. And in the meantime, as you saw there, another exclusion for Galli, his first of the match. Krylov finds the left side of the attack, and there's the first goal for the Blue Caps. Number 5, the team captain, Koptev, fires it in. So we're gonna round it up to 7.5 minutes. That's how much it took for Koptsev to find the back of the opponent's net, but for the Blue Caps overall, and as you saw, goal number 10, all of them coming from the field. No penalty goals for him. Actually, only 3 that were scored that way were thanks to Baranec. The one that is mostly called for duty when it comes to exactly that. Testa gets the ball to Rumolo, and it was Rosa this time who did a foul in the attack, the so-called turnover fall given again. Is this an attack worthy of an equalizer? Let's see. Krylov, well, he hits the outside portion of the net, so no such scenarios as for now. Gori finds Camuto. No such scenarios as for now. Gori finds Camuto. Camuto spots the left winger who calls for a ball, goes for a one-on-one situation. A regular foul, as they would say, on Rumolo. Testa gets a bit closer to the attacking zone. Rosa! A great link-up play between Testa and Rosa. Powerful shot from the center, which now makes it 3-1. And as for Adriano Rosa, goal number 6, and the only center shot, well, center goal we've seen. And as for Adriano Rosa, goal number 6, and the only center shot, well, center goal we've seen so far. Because the Whitecaps are doing the best job possible when it comes to preventing any kind of a ball reaching the Blue Caps' center there, being Suhamlin. And then yet again, Rosa doing his portion of the job, and then when one of the teammates spots that he needs help, they go back. But in the meantime, as it is when you're a commentator, when you say something, it so often proves to be the other way around. It was indeed that in this situation. Let's see, Suhamlin gets it to Baranec. Baranec to the other wing. Player who is dispossessed for a second there was Akimov. Well, 2 more seconds. What can be done with 2 seconds? The most obvious solution, send the ball to the other side, let the goalkeeper swim from it and swing back into defense. As for the exclusion, it was Rosa, in case I didn't say the first time, who is now back in action with a ball. Gori. Camuto. Testa alone on the right side. Well, a good idea, but Massetti wasn't really ready for that pass. Less than 3.5 minutes till the so-called halftime. Akimov. Koptsev. On to Baranec. Baranec saved by Scateni. Exactly at the side. Baranec opted for another save to Andrea Scateni, which now makes that his 2nd save of the match. Easy steal for Koptsev. Not the best ball passing skill there towards Camuto. Well, still at 3-1. We are still with 1 goal on the each side of the pool. Koptsev. Levin gets the ball to Suhamlinal, but it was a turnover fall again. Scateni gets the ball to Rumolo. Rumolo, great save for Kosarev on the other side as well. Well read, well kept out. Jevo. Jevo to his center, who scores for the 2nd time when it comes to Blue Caps. So Kamlin makes it 3-2. And we have 2:21 till the end of the second period. Putrino. Navicoli. Navicoli. Meli. Putrino again onto the left side. Back to Putrino. Putrino. His shot blocked by Kavibulin. Less than 2 minutes till second quarter is done. Less than 2 minutes till second quarter is done. Kamuto doing the fall on Kavibulin. Levin. No, it was Agarka with the cap number 14, and now it's Krylov, who might opt for a shot right after this fall. Let's see. He does, and he scores. Fedor Krylov makes it 3-3. After a shaky start, that is, from the Blue Caps. Took them, well, 7.5 minutes. We rounded it up to that much to score. Now, that was a goal worthy of an equalizer. Precise from the 6 meters. With 1 minute and 41 seconds, it's Whitecaps 3, Blue Caps 3. 3 out of 9 or 3 out of 10 if you're talking about the Whitecaps, the firstly mentioned number in the department of shots for the Blue Caps. Testa. Strong pressing from the Blue Caps, apart from Agarko only. And when it is a pressing, you want to swim through, you want to break it off in any shape possible, then you can open up the space. And in the meantime, an opportunity opened up with an extra player. To swim through, you want to break it off in any shape possible, then you can open up the space. And in the meantime, an opportunity opened up with an extra player. After number 2, Kizim is out of the field of play. Meli sends the skip shot over not only the goal, but also this net that is additional security to the other team that is playing right after this match and warming up in that area of the pool. Less than 55 seconds till the end of the first half. Blue Caps with the attack to overturn the deficit in total. 5 seconds to do that after this fall. Kizim finds the center, who turns around his opponent and gets an exclusion. So Gali is out for the second time. Kavibulin onto the right winger, who waits for the left side of the attack. Now it's Krylov. Kikin gets the ball to Kavibulin. A good block. Keeps it at 3-3. Still less than 30 seconds to change the scoreline for either Whitecaps or the Blue Caps. Make that 15 more seconds overall. 10 now for the Whitecaps in their attack. Meli waited for the center and waited long enough. Massetti draws an exclusion. Final few seconds. Cocozello to the left side, but woodwork has been hit, so 1.7 that is on the shot clock is reserved for Kosarev's final opportunity. pretty much it when it comes to the first 12 minutes. 12 more minutes still to be played, and we're at the results. That says white caps 3, blue caps 3 as well. Thirty more seconds, and we're off when it comes to the second half, the penultimate quarter, that is the white caps free, blue caps free. As a result, we're heading into that portion of the match with, and when it comes to the match summary, in case you missed, 25% of shot efficiency for the white caps, 30 on the other side for the blue caps. 0 out of 3 for the extra player shots of the nominal hosts of this match. On the other side, 1 out of 3 for their opponents. As for... Sorry about that. Didn't turn the mic off in time, so, and I'm right next to this lovely sound, so apologies. Action shots, only 1 goal scored that way, and it was for the White Caps. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Putrino right at the beginning of the match. So now the third swim-off won by the Blue Caps, who have a chance to overturn the deficit in total and now with the extra player, but they will have to wait a little bit. So number 10 is out, meaning it's Rosa. Rosa's second personal foul. The ball did go fully in. Yep, confirmed. Number 5 as the scorer, meaning it's Vladimir Kopcev. Vladimir Kopcev's second goal of the match makes it +1 in favor of the Blue Caps for the very first time today. And it was goal number 11 of the tournament overall for him. Putrino. Meli. Putrino. Meli. Putrino. Two of them exchanging the ball. Now it's only 10 seconds. Testa joining in. Putrino. Meli. Putrino. 4 seconds now on the shot clock. Putrino with a lob, and he hits the right post. Are we witnessing a +2 scenario here in favor of the Blue Caps? Agarko. Kopcev. Kopcev hits the right post. Fouled by Meli. Additional 18 seconds here for the Blue Caps. Jevo. Jevo gets it to his center, and that's enough for an exclusion. So number 6 is out, meaning it's Masset. First personal foul for him. Let's see the development of this extra player attack. And that was a quick development indeed. A great goal from Denis Jevo on that right wing. Even though it was Marella on that near side of the goal, Jevo still managed to squeeze it in to make it, well, +2 for the very first time when it comes to Blue Caps. Testa. Rosa. Another exclusion. This time it's for number 4, meaning it's Jevo. Extra player attack for the White Caps. Testa onto the left side. A skip shot hits the woodwork, but there is a second opportunity. Ball kept in possession of the White Caps. Cocotello sends it to the right wing, but the player on the left post was in the 2 meters. It was Rosa. So we're staying at 5-3 in favor of the Blue Caps. Agarko. Krylov. What a goal yet again from the Blue Caps. Fedor Krylov caught the whole entire White Caps' defense on sleeping. And as they were in the sleeping mode, he fires another shot and makes it +3 for the Blue Caps. And the advantage now keeps growing. And may I just add that it was Rosa's goal for 3-1, and then it was 5 in a row for the Blue Caps. So Sukamlin, Krylov, Kopcev, Jevo, and Krylov. Yet again, what a series from the Blue Caps. Testa. No answer from the Whitecaps' captain. Kabibulin breaking free in the counter on the right. Well spotted by Testa, but the ball did reach the designated option in time, and the referee is going to call for a penalty here for that foul on Kopcev, the team captain. So number 15, meaning it's Cocotello, who has his first personal foul, will make that second personal foul now. It's confirmed. And Jaroslav Levin goes face to face with Jacopo Marella, and he hits the left post. We're staying at 6-3, but it still is 5 goals in a row for the Blue Caps without an answer from their opponents. Let's see for how long will that last. Cocotello gets the ball back. The lefty looking over to the 2-meter line, but not opting for a pass. It's not the right time to do so. Opts to take the shot himself. And we are still waiting for their first answer. At the beginning of the second quarter, that was the last goal for the Whitecaps, and it was, like I said, the Rosa. Suhamlin. Kopcev. Kikin. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Kikin with the final attempt. That goes over. Gori. Testa. Putrino. Exclusion on the 2-meter line, meaning it's Kikin who is out. And if it is Kikin, it's his second personal foul, and it is. Putrino sends the ball back to the right side. The lefty now over to Testa. Testa, no goal, thanks to another save for Ivan Kosarev. And it should be his 7th. So now 2 short of yesterday's 9 that he had in the quarterfinals, keeping the opponents at bay. Possible goal number 7, a one-on-one situation here when it comes to Levin and Kok. Opponents at bay. Possible goal number 7, a one-on-one situation here when it comes to Levin and Cocotello. Just a fall. No additional repercussions. 4 more seconds and another ball that won't go into the back of the net, rather near the right post. Seconds and another ball that won't go into the back of the net, rather near the right post. As we're slowly but surely approaching the final minute and a half of this penultimate period. Cocotello. Gori. Gori for Testa. Now Putrino. Putrino! There's the first goal for the Whitecaps. After that 3-1 to make it 4-6. And in the meantime, as I said before, it was 5 goals that went unanswered by the Blue Caps. And now the Whitecaps cut it back to 2 goals of a difference between them and their opponents. Putrino with 2 goals, as well as Kopcev and Krylov on the other side. Talking about the top scorers so far. Kizim. Jevo. Swim through from Kizim, opening up more of a space on that right side. Less than 10 seconds. A great interception of the ball, but it bounced back to Simionov, who does not draw an exclusion. Nor was it enough for any kind of a referee's whistle. Gori. Meli. Last 40 seconds of the penultimate quarter. Meli for Gori. Meli. Gori. Gori saved by Kosarev. Jevo sends it back to his goalkeeper, who now has 8 saves to his name. Akimov. Well passed over Skizim. 12 more seconds. Baranets. Baranets and saved by Marella, which means that 6.7 seconds that are left on the shot clock are in favor of the Blue Caps. Akimov nodding, waiting for the ball. Pass from Jevo. Might be time to pass the ball to him. Nope, to the center. So turnover foul given, and Meli is going to be the last player to send the ball over to Kosarev. And it's Whitecaps 4, Blue Caps 6. As a result, we're heading into final 6 minutes with on to the final 6 minutes. On to the final 6 minutes of truth, that is. Who is it gonna be between these two teams? Who will play for the 5th? Who will play for the 7th place in the classification? And it's gonna be 4 out of 4 when it comes to the swim-offs in favor of the Blue Caps, who right at the beginning of the quarter have a chance to grow the advantage back to 3, which was indeed the biggest advantage we've seen. Jevo opts for his center. Good call from 2 of the players of the Whitecaps, being Galli and Testra, to come back and help out the center back. Putrino. Camuto. Testa. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Testa to Gori. Gori! The lefty sends it in. And it's now only 1 goal of a difference. 1 out of 4 when it comes to the shots for Filippo Gori. Kizim. Jevo. Back to Kizim. Again with the low blocks from the white caps. Trying to prevent the ball reaching the center. And they are doing a good job at that. The shot that came from the left back position won't change the score line. There was not a change between the posts as well, as you can see. Marela got the third and now the fourth quarter of the match. And, well, Kosarev, of course, the goalie that stayed when it comes to the Blue Caps with, by the way, 8 saves to his name. Testa. Putrino. 4 seconds till the end of this attack for the White Caps. Gori, and this will be an exclusion for Koptsev. Koptsev has his first personal foul there. Camuto. Putrino. Testa. All the way to the right winger, to the right post, into the back of the net. A playbook action, a build-up you can only wish for when it comes to the power plays. And Massetti now makes it 6-6, so 4-10 till the end. And another leveling of the score we're seeing here in Zagreb at this indoor pool. Kizim. Jevo. Agarko. Simeono waiting for the pass there. It's him and Koptsev as the players on the 2 posts. Well, Koptsev exited to the left wing in the meantime. Opened the space for Kizim and his swim through. 8 more seconds. It's Krylov. Krylov. 7-6. A great shot to the left side of Marela's goal. Brings the Blue Caps back in the minimum advantage. .342. That's how much time is there to be played. Putrino to the left wing. Enough for an exclusion for Kizim. And timeout called by Federico Mistrangelo. It's Kizim's second personal foul, so it's him, it's Kikin with 2 fouls, and Galli as well as Rosa and Cocotello on the other side for the White Caps. Well, the first bit was Y40, which means 2 of the players that we are going to locate in a few seconds are out. 2 new players are in, and then numero 5, the action probably number 5, if my humble water polo knowledge is correct. And what is the number 5, you may ask? Well, a good thing we're going to find out together in a few seconds. On to the, let's figure out, number 5 extra player action, what it really is. So starting over the 4-2, the left post player exiting to a free, and it was Testa's shot, well kept by Kosarev yet again, who now has 9 saves in total. Well, an exclusion in the transition phase there, and number 5 is out, so Testa, that is. A goal immediately by the number 4, meaning it's Denis Jevo. Well, the referee calling for the ball. The goal for the player with the cap number 4 was confirmed at first. But the timeout was called, so was spotted later, and they are calling for the time. Well, timeout for the Blue Caps, and Federico Mistrangelo as well as Nicolo Gitto are perhaps calling for the time to go back. Because of the time that has passed, those few seconds that are in question should be put back. Well, the referee is again calling for the ball, but it was not noticed that one of the players wasn't in. So now a full lineup for the Blue Caps that was meant to be in the pool, and on we go. Jevo, Akimov, Jevo again. Player on the right post waiting for the ball, now exiting a bit further out, and from the left wing, Woodwork has been hit with this extra player attack. So we're staying at 7-6. Both of the teams use their timeout, have still one at disposal, and will probably be used, especially if it continues this way. And if it continues this way, it's gonna be great for the White Caps. Number 10, Rosa, caught his teammates, well, opponents, not teammates, in sleeping mode, so use his opportunity and fired the shot in to make it 7-7. So when it comes to this last quarter, the second time, we saw an equalizer. Now 2:32 till the end. Kopcev. Jevo for his center, and the ball was in his hand. The referee says so, no whistle. Camuto, hand. The referee says so, no whistle. Camuto. Gets the ball to Testa. Meli for his center now. And the Blue Caps defense doing their portion of the job right. Less than 2 minutes till the end. It's 7-7. Akimov goes for a dribble, fouled by Putrino. Still Akimov. A great steal from Meli. Gives the possession back for Team White Caps. When it comes to turnover falls for the White Caps, 7 for the Blue Caps, as you saw there. Cocozello, Meli back to Cocozello. Lefty has 5 seconds, but sends the ball right next to the right post. 1:16. That's the time we have left. The ball has to go back as well to Kosarev. 9 saves in total for him. It's equal the number he had yesterday, so we'll see. Will it be one more? And this is a penalty. Number 5 with a penalty, meaning Testa's second personal foul, and a chance for the Blue Caps to enter the final minute with 1 goal of a difference in their favor. If they score, of course. Now let's see, will Jevo be precise enough from the 5-meter line, or will Marella keep it from going in and keep the current result? Jevo versus Marella. Jevo. 8-7 for the Blue Caps. Jevo's second goal, fourth of the tournament overall. That gives the Blue Caps a bit of relief entering this final 66 seconds, but a relief for either of the teams can be used only after the final whistle. Putrino, the top scorer of the White Caps. Can he produce yet another goal that might take this game into a possible penalty shootout or not? We'll see. It is the last minute. Testa, Putrino, back to Testa. The Italian Capitano still with the ball. 5 seconds left. He opts for the center. Rosa does the rest of the job and draws an exclusion. Number 5 is out, meaning it's Koptsev, his second personal foul. Putrino sends it wide, but the referee says it was touched by the goalkeeper, so it is additional 18 seconds of hope for the White Caps. Testa, let's see who's gonna be the hero. Well, it goes again over the goal, which is now 8-7 for the Blue Caps still, and around 20 more seconds till it's game over when it comes to this classification from the 5th to the 8th place match. And of course the Blue Caps keeping the possession and taking their time as long as there is any. Whatever they have at their disposal, they're going to use up. And it's going to be 8-7 in favor of the Blue Caps as the final result, which means now we know which two teams are playing tomorrow for the 5th place in the standings overall, and which two teams, one that lost in this match and the one before, are playing for the 7th place of the classification here in Zagreb. Now, as for the player of the match, a little birdie told me it's going to be Ivan Kosarev, a goalkeeper of the Blue Caps who had 10 saves in this match. One of the definitely key players when it comes to their path towards a possible 5th place finish. We're going to see tomorrow. We're going to find out together. So, 2 games, key players when it comes to their path towards a possible 5th place finish. We're gonna see tomorrow. We're gonna find out together. So 2 games. Next up is the first semifinals match, so a bit of a break, and then you get to enjoy that. You get to enjoy another as we're kind of completing the route to a possible gold medal, but of course the bronze medal as well here in the capital of Croatia.